Peace, y'all. My name is Anthony Williams, also known as, there we go, Anthoknees on social media. I am a graduating senior at the University of California, Berkeley, studying sociology with a minor in theater and performance studies. I'm 26. I am a proud Black queer man, and I do a lot of social media activism, if you will. So social media activism for me is a form of consciousness raising. Social media activism on itself or by itself can't be used alone. You need to be doing something else with it. So you can identify what you're doing on social media as a form of activism, but that alone is not going to forward revolutionary politics or however else you want to describe it. So social media activism for me is making sure that if I'm posting about an article, I also post on Facebook or on Twitter, I also post a commentary with the article so that people can realize a different perspective on it. So I might post an article that I don't agree with and explain why I don't agree with it, right? If an article calls women females, I might say why that could be seen as derogatory and why a lot of women prefer to use the term women rather than females, which can be used for all animals. So a lot of what I do is post things to make people aware and do consciousness raising, which is essentially raising someone's consciousness, making someone aware of an issue they weren't aware of before, like structural oppression, like racism, like transphobia, and different things like that. So with my social media activism, a lot of it was on Facebook and on Twitter and sometimes on Instagram. But there's been a lot of challenges. Some of the challenges are trolls. As I've gotten a larger following, that means I become hyper visible. And as I become hyper visible and openly talking, speaking the truth to power, that means that there's a lot of people who are going to be pissed off. Often white people, often fellow men, because I talk about white supremacy, I talk about patriarchy, I talk about heteropatriarchy. And so these are issues that not everyone wants to deal with within themselves. So some of the biggest challenges, I've gotten death threats. I've lost friends because they feel like I'm using Facebook incorrectly because they want to post pictures of cats, which I love. Please do that. But I post pictures of cats and flowers, and I also post about social justice so that people are aware of what's going on in the world. So one of the ways that I overcame these challenges with social media has been to create barriers. So my Twitter is completely open. My Instagram is pretty private. I kicked off a bunch of people who I don't know personally. And then my Facebook, I went down from about 1,400 friends to about 400 friends, including people I had known in person for a long time, but I didn't feel like their online etiquette was correct for me and my personal needs. So I set up barriers and protections. So that's me. I am Anthony. You can follow me at Anthoknees on Twitter, on WordPress, and on Medium. Thanks for listening. Peace.